Well, first off, congrats on the movie.
Thank you very much.
Your debut. How have you found the challenge throughout this process?
Yeah, it's been really fun. It is a challenge to get a movie made. It's tricky, and you kind of, like with any creative endeavor, it ends up where existence is the bar. So I'm just really happy that it exists and is out in the world.
I can imagine for a film like this, because it's, I guess, independent and you've had to do a lot of it yourself, it was quite a long process to go from the beginning to get financing and then obviously get the film out there now.
Yeah, I think it's been about 4 years in total.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was obviously this is your debut, as I say. Was directing always something that you kind of aspired to? Even though obviously people know you as an actress, but was directing something you...
Writing was something that I'd always aspired to. And then it's in trying to get something made, you end up trying to do everything yourself because that's initially the only way to get things done. So writing was something that I always wanted to do desperately. And then, directing was a fun challenge.
Because I read that the original story came from your father, is that correct?
Yeah, so my dad is also a writer.
Was the version of this film, was it close to what he had in mind, or was it something that was completely
different? No, I think
different?
His was sort of like this inner city gangster who goes in,
Oh,
and
wow.
then I was like, I'm going to turn that into a romantic comedy and make it super fluffy. Thanks, Daddy. Yeah.
I mean, you obviously filmed in Scotland as well.
Yeah.
Was it important for you with the story to go on, the locations and
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
kind of stuff? Yeah.
It's basically a lot of it is just massive love for Scotland, so it would have been really silly to shoot it in Ireland or something.
I can imagine that the weather in Scotland was fun, especially the water scenes that you had to
it was freezing. It was so cold.
Did you film in the winter?
We filmed in October, and
so
in theory they're like, oh well, the heat from the sun all summer has warmed up the rivers, but no, it was icy cold.
Got a really good cast as well in this. A lot of recognisable names. Martin Compston obviously is an actor that I quite like. He's done a lot of varied work over the time.
Yeah,
was he someone that you wanted from the beginning?
Yeah, so Martin was a friend of a friend, and I just absolutely love him. I think he's an incredible actor. I think he's got a beautiful face. Obviously, he's not necessarily known for romantic comedy, but he's so good and so charming, and you just absolutely fall in love with him. So it was great.
I think this is the first time for a while. It sounds silly, but I saw Harry Enfield, who I used to love as a kid, doing a Scottish accent as he does with his accents and stuff.
He can do every accent.
Was he and the people like Rufus, Hound and Russell Kane, were they friends of friends? Or
Harry was someone I'd worked with before.
Oh, okay.
So I emailed him and begged, and Rachel Sterling I'd worked with before as well. So
I was going to ask you, obviously in the past you worked with Richard Curtis on Boat That Rocked. Was his style and his kind of romantic comedy, the way he makes his movies, was that a big influence on you?
Yeah,
directing this one?
I love all of his movies, and just sort of in my life personally, they're the things that I watch when I want to have a good time. So definitely.
It's got quite a big kind of ecological backstory behind it, one that I think you've been quite passionate about as well.
Yeah.
Was that something that now you've made the movie that you obviously wanted to get that message out there a bit more? And
Yeah, so I'm very green in all aspects of my life, but I particularly I wanted to. The thing that was so appealing to me about this story is that the plight of the freshwater mussels is true, and my dad had been like reading about it in the papers and getting clippings about it and things, and I thought it's just really interesting if you look at like the honeybees and the mussels, the things at the lower end of the ecosystem tend to get ignored because they're not cute and cuddly and exciting, but they're still vitally important, so I thought that was a fun angle.
You also lucked up with the producers, obviously Noel Clarke, massive producer in the UK. Obviously he's done Brotherhoods and everything else. How early on into the process did he kind of get involved?
Pretty early. Well, I mean, after about a year of me trying to get it made, I was trying to get the film made, couldn't do it, and then Noel and Jason came on board, and then it was all on. They just got it done. So they're really good at getting stuff done.
They are really good at that kind of stuff. Obviously the Brotherhood movies have been
huge.
The Brotherhood movies, I should say, the 3 movies that they've made.
The trilogy.
The trilogy that they've made. I can imagine that they were quite important in terms of getting it seen in cinemas and all that kind of stuff, because they've had such a reputation beforehand.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, they just taken care of all of those things. So it's been great.
It's been a while since I think you premiered this at the Edinburgh Film Festival last year.
Yeah.
Has it been quite a long process? Obviously you said it was a long process getting it made, but in terms of getting it into cinemas as well.
Yeah, well, I think they've been doing the last one in the trilogy, so they've been distracted. Well, fair enough.
How was it to premiere in Edinburgh?
It was really nice. Great. Yeah, it was so fitting. It was lovely. We all had a really nice time, and then we went out afterwards. It was great.
You said about your love of writing. Obviously, you've got your novel coming out as well. Or you had a novel come out now as well.
My novel just came out this month.
Was writing a screenplay? What was the kind of the difference between the two? Was it more challenging?
It's a lot faster to write a screenplay. Yeah.
I can imagine.
I don't know. I really like prose. So for me, novel writing is like my great love, and then writing the screenplay was sort of an exercise in structure and dialogue. But it was they're vaguely comparable, but also quite different. It's like the difference between doing theatre acting and TV, I guess.
Has the process put you off doing it again now because it's quite a long process, or now have you got a taste for it, you think you might want to direct another movie down the line?
Yeah, no imminent plans, but it's something I would definitely consider again. It was fun. You learn so much doing it the first time around. Even though having been on sets since I was 18, you learn so much more seeing it from the other side.
I was going to say, you've been lucky in your career to work with quite a lot of big directors, obviously Christopher Nolan on Inception, Ron Howard, obviously Richard Curtis. Yeah. Were any of those guys kind of big influences on the way that you made this movie, and give you any tips or anything like that?
I didn't explicitly ask anyone for tips, but you learn working with someone, throughout your career. You're like, what that guy did was really nice, and what that guy did was fabulous. So you kind of pick up the bits that you want to emulate, I guess.
Something I wanted to ask you about just separately before they cut me off is a very exciting thing that I'm excited about, which is Westworld. Yeah. Which you're in. I think you're in the whole series, or maybe the first episode.
3 episodes. The first season.
How has that experience been?
Fabulous. Yeah, so interesting. I love the subject material. It was really cool to play a robot. Lisa Nolan, I just think is fabulous, and it was great to work with like such a kind of in charge female, so that was really nice. It was great.
You got to work with J.J. Abrams as well, who's...
Never met him.
You never met him? You never met J.J. Abrams?
I'm only in 3 episodes.
You never got to meet him? I guess he was doing Star Wars, busier, I guess. Yeah. And Jonathan Nolan as well, obviously Chris Nolan's brother. Yeah. He must have been a great person to work with, I can imagine, because he obviously as a writer as well,
the whole Nolan clan, love them all.
You're in now, you can do any movie again. Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
What's next for you in terms of acting?
Acting, hopefully another series of Westworld, and at the moment I'm just trying to get my second novel done, which is I'm slightly behind schedule on that.
Well, I massively enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great fun.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.